You're watching South Asian Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Thursday, the 2nd of October. India's Defence Minister warns Pakistan against misadventure over military build-up near Gujarat border. Global Voices call for urgent action to save women and children in Pakistan and Bangladesh. And Hindu women in India celebrate culmination of Durga Puja with Sindoor Khela. And now for all the details. India's Defence Minister Rajnath Singh on Thursday warned Pakistan against any aggression towards the Sir Creek region. In a clear message to the neighbouring country, he said any such move would be met with a resounding response that could change history and geography. The Defence Minister made the remarks at a military base near Bhuj city in Gujarat as he celebrated Dussehra with soldiers. On Operation Sindoor, Rajnath Singh exposed Pakistan's defence system and its unsuccessful attempt to penetrate India's defence system. Singh also said that the Indian military successfully achieved all the objectives of Operation Sindoor, and starting a war with Pakistan by escalating the situation was not its aim. Due to varying interpretations of maritime boundary lines by the two sides, Sir Creek, a 96-kilometre-long delta between Gujarat's Run of Kutch and Pakistan, is considered a sensitive region.
जिस तरह से हाल में पाकिस्तान की फौज ने सर क्रीक के सटे इलाकों में अपना मिलिट्री इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर बढ़ाया है, वह उसकी नीयत बताता है। साथियों, भारत की सीमाओं की रक्षा भारतीय सेनाएं और बॉर्डर सिक्योरिटी फोर्स मिलकर मुस्तैदी से कर रही हैं। अगर सर क्रीक इलाके में पाकिस्तान की ओर से कोई भी हिमाकत की गई तो उसे ऐसा करारा जवाब मिलेगा कि इतिहास और भूगोल दोनों बदल जाएंगे मेरे साथियों।
And lauding the India-EFTA Trade and Economic Partnership Agreement, which came into force from Wednesday, India's Commerce and Industry Minister Piyush Goyal said India is now engaging with the developed world from a position of strength and confidence. The deal with EFTA nations, including Switzerland and Norway, marks a major milestone aiming at $100 billion investment and creation of 1 billion jobs in India over 15 years. Goyal noted that after agreements with Australia and the UAE and with talks progressing with the EU, India will soon have free trade access across Europe.
After our successful free trade agreements with Australia, UAE, now the EFTA coming into operation from today, the United Kingdom, which was signed on 24th July and is in the process of ratification and will probably come into effect sometime next year, with the rapid progress being made in negotiations with the 27-nation European Union. Effectively, we would have covered all of the European countries with free trade agreements, giving access to Indian exporters, Indian industry, Indian service providers, and providing millions of jobs for our young men and women.
I think EFTA is a path-breaking initiative which will be a game changer and a clear multiplier going forward, because countries like Norway, who have more than 90% of the new vehicles being electric, and in countries like Switzerland, where they have such a high technology base on semiconductor, battery energy storage and other energy storage technologies, power electronics, grid support systems, software, so which can be very well utilized for India's green energy journey of 500 gigawatt, where energy storage will play a very critical role. And today, if you see, all the new solar projects come with storage only. So there I see a very good opportunity. Similarly, in the fintech space, I see that Switzerland will be adding very good value to India.
And at a side event during the 60th UNHRC in Geneva, European parliamentarians, senators and activists voiced concerns over human rights violations in Pakistan and Bangladesh, particularly affecting women, children and minority communities.
A side event organized by International Support for Human Rights in collaboration with Italia Che Cambia, members of the European Parliament, senators, and human rights activists raised concerns over human rights violations against vulnerable women and children in South Asia, particularly in Pakistan and Bangladesh. The speakers expressed deep concern over the deteriorating situation in the country, highlighting several incidents over the past few years.
I grew up in Bangladesh. I love that country. It's very dear to my heart. And I'm really devastated. My heart is broken of what has been happening the last year. There's also a geopolitical aspect to what happened in Bangladesh to have the caretaker government now. But my plea to Mohammed Yunus, the caretaker prime minister, is to get control of this country and take care of these extremists.
Another EU lawmaker described conditions for women and girls as very difficult and highlighted repression faced by Bangladeshi and Pakistani migrant women in Italy, including being forced to wear the burqa. The side event concluded with urgent calls for the international community to increase pressure on both Pakistan and Bangladesh to ensure the protection of women, children, and minority communities.
Moving on. Violent clashes in POJK have sparked global concern. In Geneva, activists are raising their voice against Pakistan's rights abuses and the crackdown on peaceful protesters.
Activists from Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir in Geneva sounded alarm over Pakistan's crackdown on peaceful demonstrators back home as violent clashes this week gripped the region, where Pakistani forces opened fire on protesters for demanding basic fundamental rights. At least 3 people have been killed and many injured over the past 3 days. The demonstrations, led by the Jammu-Kashmir Joint Awami Action Committee, have drawn huge public support but remain unmet by authorities. Protesters are pressing for political reforms and economic relief, from scrapping reserved assembly seats to lowering electricity tariffs and wheat prices, alongside demands for free education and healthcare.
And now it is the people, it is the civil society who are asking that restore our basic human rights. They are not asking for the ruling. They are just they are asking protect our natural resources. Do not, you have no right to plunder our natural resources. But unfortunately, Pakistan is not ready. And at this moment, actually, the majoritarianism is prevailed and might is right. So rulers is not ready to listen the voices of the civil society.
And more than 2.5 years, people are on the streets and they are demanding for their basic fundamental human right. And Pakistan is not ready to listen their voices. They are peacefully protesting. They didn't take guns. They are non-violent. This is the beauty of that movement, People's Right Movement under the banner of Awami Action Committee. And we are standing by them, and at international level we are their voice because they don't have any representation anywhere. And from 29th September and whole area is locked down. There is no internet, no telephone, and people, they do not have access to any international media or communication.
Activists warned that the ongoing lockdown, communication blackout, and violent suppression show how civil society voices are being silenced, even as people continue nonviolent protests for their rights.
Moving on. Internet and telecommunication services in Afghanistan were restored on Wednesday evening after being cut off for about 72 hours. The 3-day suspension of internet and telecommunication networks had disrupted flights, banking services, money transfers, and created thousands of problems for citizens across the country. The disruption also threatened economic stability and deepened one of the world's worst humanitarian crises, said the UN Assistance Mission in Afghanistan. A country where schooling has already been severely restricted, especially for women and girls, the internet ban was seen as yet another blow to education in Afghanistan. Meanwhile, a Dubai-based Afghan online teacher who runs 2 regular online courses teaching students remotely in Afghanistan faced connectivity issues amid the internet shutdown, a move that interrupted a critical lifeline for many young Afghan women who are barred from attending schools and universities. The Taliban administration has not yet provided any explanation to the connectivity blackout.
Actually, as we know that education has a strong positive impact. And if I want to answer your question, that much that education has positive impact, the banning education and interruption of that would make it much more harder and for the progress.
And devotees across India on Thursday celebrated the auspicious occasion of Durga Puja and Dussehra with religious fervor by performing prayers and rituals. Take a look.
Hindu women in parts of India, especially in West Bengal state, celebrated Sindoor Khela or Vermilion ceremony to mark the conclusion of Durga Puja festival, dedicated to goddess Durga. Dressed up in ethnic red, white Bengali saris, women offered vermilion at the feet of the idols of the goddess and then smeared each other with vermilion, wishing long life for their husbands and peace and prosperity in the society. It is believed that the ceremony is an expression to bid farewell to goddess Durga, who is worshipped during this time at homes and special congregations.
We've been loving it. Everything has been super beautiful, and we've been seeing these big themed pandals, which are gorgeous. We've also visited a lot of local, smaller pandals, and it's been very special to share in the festivities with locals and to experience the culture. We came here from Italy for the Durga Puja.
The annual 4-day-long festivities of Durga Puja mark the victory of goddess of power, Durga, over the evil buffalo demon king Mahishasur. The festivities conclude with immersion of her idols in water bodies as devotees bid farewell to the warrior goddess.
We just enjoy it like anything, and this gives that immense power. Like Ma Durga has blessed us with all the blessings, and we take that power from her, because everything is about her power, right? So that's how we get blessed by her like divine grace.
Durga represents power, the feminine force which guides and destroys all the evil from the earth. The festival is also about the annual visit of goddess Durga with her children to her ancestral home on earth. Elsewhere, the occasion is also marked as Dussehra, the day when Hindu Lord Rama defeated demon King Ravan and rescued his abducted wife Sita. People across the country burn effigies of Ravan to mark the victory of good over evil.
And that's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Till then, good night.